I think people bash the idea of eating the rainbow because it does sound extremely simplistic. And that term has kind of been taken over by marketing schemes for different candy companies. However, the idea of eating the rainbow does have a lot of merit, specifically when it comes down to nutrient density and the amount of micronutrients found in your foods. So often I see people on what I can't really find a better word for other than the white diet. They eat things like white rice, white chicken, and white meat, along with white fish and egg whites. More often than not, when I say describe a healthy diet, someone will describe to me a diet of chicken and white rice. And while there's nothing wrong with this diet, it does lack a lot of the essential micronutrients. We really don't find any micronutrients in white rice, and there's only a few amount of B vitamins in chicken. And this is when I use the heuristic of eating the rainbow to actually increase micronutrient density in someone's diet. Instead of white meat like chicken breast or turkey breast, red meat, specifically the high quality red meat like steak and beef, especially game meat like deer, venison, and elk, or even the more exotic cuts like kangaroo and bison, are going to have a much higher and more diverse array of micronutrients than white meat like chicken breast and turkey breast. And in an egg, the egg white doesn't really have that many micronutrients. Most micronutrients are actually going to be found in the egg yolk. And interestingly, typically the more yellow an egg yolk, the more vitamin A and other micronutrients it will contain. And instead of white fish, we'll choose a very colorful fish like rainbow trout or salmon, which are going to have a much higher percentage of omega-3s and much more micronutrients. And instead of white rice, I'll choose things like sweet potato and a lot of colorful fruits and vegetables. Specifically the berries with extremely dark or rich pigments like blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. And then other really colorful fruit like kiwi, oranges, lemons, and limes. And while there's not necessarily anything wrong with lettuce, you'll get much more micronutrients from much more colorful vegetables. Leafy green vegetables on paper have a lot of micronutrients, specifically vitamin K. However, you would want to be careful if you have any sort of digestive issues, because these vegetables will contain certain digestive irritants like lectins and oxalates, which is why oftentimes, no matter how strong your digestive system is, I recommend thoroughly cooking all of the vegetables that you eat just to make sure that you don't develop any digestive issues. And alongside these leafy vegetables, try and get a very diverse array of vegetables. Things like carrots, squash, acorn, pumpkin, asparagus, different colored potatoes, tomatoes even though they technically are a fruit. And really try to get as diverse array of colors into your diet as possible. Oftentimes it is the micronutrients themselves that give these foods the pigment. For example, iron contributes to the dark red color of red meat, and vitamin A contributes to the orange color of egg yolks, carrots, and sweet potatoes. And when you're at the grocery store, choosing the fruits that are the darkest color, because this indicates that they have an increased antioxidant and micronutrient status. While I won't tell you that it is 100% an increase in nutrient status, it typically does indicate that there are more micronutrients present. So one extremely helpful heuristic, if you're trying to increase the micronutrient status and simply the health of your diet overall, is trying to eat natural foods that are extremely colorful. The last thing I'll mention is actually herbs and spices. Very green herbs like parsley, thyme, basil, and oregano, and colorful spices like clove, turmeric, paprika, and cayenne are going to be extremely good sources of antioxidants, polyphenols, and some micronutrients. So my biggest tip is to get off the all-white diet of chicken breast, egg whites, and white rice, and add in a little bit of color to your food choices by instead choosing to eat egg yolks, red meat, fruits, and vegetables.